And I know the times that I've done this myself, it feels like my heart is jumping out of my chest. Okay, this is not the HR approved, by the book way to negotiate your salary, but today I'm sharing tips on how to ask for a raise based on my actual experience. Because here's the truth, or the bottom line if you will. You have to ask, and you should always ask. What I'm going to do is show you how to do it in a way that will actually get you there. Getting right to the point, there are 3 different stages that you could be at when you're going to be asking for this raise. And they each have their own level of power, if you will, and considerations you need to keep in mind. You could be starting a new job, already settled into one, or thinking about walking away. Starting at the first one, before you actually get the job. At the stage 1, you're actually about to get the job. This is when you're about to actually get that job offer. This is the best time to negotiate that higher salary. You're in the negotiation process. Right after you've been offered the job, but right before you accept it. This is where you're going to have the most power. And the company is actually incentivized, or they have a bit of wiggle room to actually give you what you want. So here's how you're going to approach it. Going into the ask, you need to have done your research. Look up salary ranges for similar roles in your industry and location using websites like Glassdoor. You need to know your worth walking in. Don't just think about your years of experience, but consider what unique skills and achievements you're bringing to the table. And frankly, at this point, the company's put in too much time and money, frankly, interviewing you. And they're incentivized to close this deal and wrap up the hiring process. When they confirm about your salary expectations, you have to respond confidently with a range that starts slightly higher than your target. Here's how you're actually going to do that. You're going to agree to the salary range throughout the entire interview process. If you live in a state or a province that forces employers to advertise the range, you're just going to agree. Once you actually get the job offer, usually the company or HR person is going to give you a call, and you're going to take that call, thank them for the offer, express all of those niceties. And then you're going to ask for that job offer in an email, which is probably something they're going to be doing anyways. You're going to say, you're going to review it, and you're going to confirm once you've had time to read through all the details. In your email back to them, this is when you're going to ask for that higher value. You can write something like, I'm excited about the opportunity, and based on market research, what I've learned about the role throughout the interview process, and my own experience, I was expecting something in the range of. This is where you're going to insert a number that is 10 to 20% higher than what they've actually offered you. Say you're going to ask for $90,000 to $100,000. You're going to ask them, are you able to consider this? Usually, they're going to come back with a phone call either saying yes, no, or that they'll take it back to HR. In my experience, every time that I've done this, they've either shared honestly that they can't budge, in which case it's up to you to decide if you still want to accept, or they're going to come back with some higher value. And going back to my main point here, you should always ask. It's either going to be the same number that you've already been offered, or hey, you're getting more. The considerations you need to keep in mind is it's okay to feel nervous, but you have to remember that employers are actually expecting negotiations. Asking now can set you up the entire time you're at that company, can set you up for a better raise structure down the line. Stage 2, once you're actually in the job. At this second stage, when you've already been working at the job, you're looking to secure a raise based on your contributions. This is honestly where you have the least amount of power, but don't let that deter you. It is more difficult because most companies are going to have some type of annual performance review structure, so it's difficult for managers to work outside of this. But that doesn't mean that you can't. You're going to have to prepare a little bit. And the first preparation is going to be documenting your wins. Keep track of those successes, revenue generated, process improvements, or even positive feedback your manager has given you before. You're going to make sure that those feedbacks or those successes align with your company goals. Show how your work actually ties directly to what the company's priorities are. And then unfortunately, a little bit, timing is everything. If you can plan your ask around the annual performance review or after a major success everyone's talking about, you're more likely to have success. So here's what you're actually going to do. At the end of a one-on-one, you're straight up going to ask your manager. Over the past year, I've led insert key project here that resulted in this outcome. And I wanted to ask if it's possible to have a discussion around compensation. Honestly, this is probably going to throw your manager off a little bit. And they're going to have probably a high-level conversation with you, or they might ask to schedule a follow-up. The considerations to keep in mind is that you have to be proactive. Don't wait until your manager brings up a raise. You have to initiate that conversation. In the worst case, they're going to push you back to that annual review, but hey, at least they know it's on your mind and they may work on something for you by then, or they'll be able to bring it back to HR now and have something happen. Either way, you've put it out there. No one is going to advocate for your raise other than you, so you have to ask. Moving on to stage 3. where you're actually ready to walk away. In this third stage, you've actually reached a point where you're ready to leave the company unless you're able to secure this raise. It's also at this stage where you do have a lot of power, but it's only with that other offer in hand. This would be in a situation where you actually like your current role and you would love to stay, but at the end of the day, we're all working for a check. In this case, obviously you've been interviewing, you're gonna have that other offer on the table, and that's what's giving you leverage. You obviously wanna stay professional, you're gonna keep a positive tone, solution focused, you're obviously not threatening your manager for a raise here, but you do wanna be clear on your terms. Know exactly what raise or what you are asking for, whether that's a raise, a promotion, additional perks. Again, you're either gonna schedule a specific one-on-one, or during just your regular check-ins with your manager, you're gonna say something like, there's something that I wanted to bring up, I've loved working here, I've received an offer that has better higher salary or better benefits, whatever it is that you are seeking, and I wanted to give the company an opportunity to match or exceed that offer. I'd love to continue contributing here. In this case, you have to be prepared to walk away if they say no. If they say yes, you need to get everything in writing almost immediately after that discussion. If they don't send you anything after that conversation, you're gonna send your manager a thank you email, thanking them for the discussion, summarizing what it is that they said to you, so that you can follow back up in writing. So here's the main message. You should always ask, whether it's during negotiations, while you're thriving in your role, or when you're ready to leave. Advocating for yourself, it's essential to your career growth. You have to advocate for yourself because frankly, no one else is incentivized to do this for you. If it makes you feel better, everyone else around you, they're doing this. People are negotiating their salaries. I know it can feel awkward, and I know the times that I've done this myself, it feels like my heart is jumping out of my chest. But remember, if you don't ask, you're definitely not going to be getting anything. So I hope this video gives you a little bit of confidence to start your raise conversations. Let me know in the comments if you've ever negotiated a raise and how it went for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for more career tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.